Hi, my name is Bill, and today I'm going to be showing you how to replace the heat diffuser in a dryer. The reason why you might have to do this is because the heat diffuser's edges are sharp and it's tearing your clothing. For this repair, we'll be using a Phillips head screwdriver, a T25 bit, and a pair of channel locks. Warning: before doing any repairs, please disconnect your power source. So this is the appliance that we'll be using in this demonstration. It's a GE. Keep in mind yours at home might look a little bit different than what we've got here, but the same techniques should still apply. Just make sure you turn your gas off. So we're going to start by turning our dryer around. So what we'll need to do is remove these screws up here in order to get the control panel off. So now that we've got the back unscrewed, we can just slide the control panel over, and we're going to lift it up, and we're going to put it back in this space right here. Now we're going to open up our dryer door, and on either side there are two screws going straight up, so we need to remove those screws now, and we're going to be using a Phillips head screwdriver to take these screws out. Now that we've got those screws out, we can take the top off. All we have to do is just lift up and pull back slightly on the top. And we'll set that off to the side. So now that I've got these screws out, I want to close up our front dryer door. Now I've got two more screws that screw into the front panel, and I'm just going to have to remove those as well. And when you remove them, just make sure that when you get close to having them come out, you catch them because you don't want them to fall down into the dryer there. There we go. Now that we've got those screws out, we can tilt the front panel forward. And once we've got it tilted forward and separated from the drum, we can lift it up over the tabs on the bottom and just turn it like so, because we've got some wires attached to it as well. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to detach some of these wires here. First one I'm going to detach is this black one that's connected right over here. And to do that, I'm just going to use a flathead screwdriver, and I'm going to pry up. There we go. Now I've got this plastic guard that's in my way a little bit. What I'm going to do is just pull it slightly out like that so it's removed from the frame, and now I can move it out of my way. Again, just don't move it too far. You don't want to break it. We'll move it just enough so that I can use my screwdriver and pry these wires off. There we go. There's one. And we just need to unplug our white wire, and we'll just pull that straight out there. So now I'm just going to remove this last wire here, and once again just pulling that straight out. So right on top of the drum here we've got this piece, which is our belt there. So in order to get it off, I'm going to reach inside of our dryer here, and I've got to get my arm in that little hole. We're going to have to push up on the lever to release the tension, and reach in with our other hand, and now we can just take that right off. So now that we've removed the belt from the pulley, we can lift up on the belt, and that'll help us pick up the drum. So the next thing we need to do is get this bearing off. So in order to do that, we've got 3 screws, and we're going to have to get them off from the inside. So from this side, you'll see that we've got a couple of screws that aren't Phillips head. So these ones we're going to actually be using a T25 bit screw in order to get them out. And what I've done is I've also turned the drum up so that the bottom is on the floor, so that once we get all the screws out, the bearing doesn't fall onto the floor. We can just lift up our drum a little bit, and that way we don't damage our floor or anything. Now that all the screws are out, all we have to do is just tilt the drum up and the bearing falls out. And I've just grabbed it from the other side and there it is. So now that all those screws are out, we can take a screwdriver and just put it in one of the holes of the heat diffuser here and just lift that old diffuser out. And before we put that new diffuser in, we're also going to want to clean out all that old dust that's in there. Now you can grab your new OEM replacement heat diffuser, and if you don't have one already, you can find it on our online store. So now that we've got all the dust cleaned out, we can put our heat diffuser back in, and we're just going to line up the 3 holes with the 3 screw holes on the back of the drum. We're going to slide the screws back in first. And as long as everything's lined up, they should just slide right through. And give them a couple of twists so that they stay in place. And then once you've got those in place, set the drum back up. And from this side, we'll put the bearing back on. So those screws are now poking out of those holes. And we can just set the bearing on and screw them in the rest of the way, as well as add that last screw. And when you put the drum back in, you're going to want to make sure that shaft goes into that hole right there. There we go. So it's a little bit hard to line it up when you can't really see it back there, but you can do the best you can. And it might take a couple of tries to get it exactly in place. There we go. After a couple of tries, you should be able to get it in there, and you'll see that the rim of the drum is inside the frame of the dryer there. Now to put the drum back on, we're going to take the belt, we're going to go on the other side of the wheel here, just like this, and we're going to lift it up, keeping this all together, and then loop the belt around the shaft here, and make sure everything's on straight. There we go. And then everything should be able to spin freely now, just like that. We're going to reattach that to the middle. This is the white wire that goes up along the edge of the door and goes to the light. So that's plugged in now. And now with this last one, reattach it right there. There we go. Now I'm going to put this plastic piece back into place, so right into that slot right there, and we'll plug our last wire in, and you're just going to make sure that these slight bumps there line up with the holes on the side. That fits in nicely, and now we'll put the front panel back on. So now we're going to line up our front panel with the tabs on the bottom. We're going to set those into those tabs and stand the door up. As we do that, we're also going to line up with the drum, and the inside of that plastic piece on the washer is going in the drum. And we've also got these metal tabs on the side that are going into the slots on the frame. So once those are all lined up and the panel's flush, we can screw it back on. So now we're going to get our screw started in this hole here, and then after we get it started, screw it down nice and tight. Same thing on this side. Start our screw in by hand and use our Phillips head screwdriver to finish the job. There we go. Now I'm going to put the top back on, and you'll see there are 2 tabs sticking out from the top. And there are going to be 2 slots that correspond with them. So I want to line all those up. So after I line those up, I'll make sure that the tabs go into the slots, just like that. And there's a couple on the front as well. So now we can screw that back in. So we'll put in our screw. And with that little tiny hole at the top, you should be able to line up the screw with the hole that it belongs to there. Once you got that started a little bit, finish screwing it in. There we go. Now we're going to put our lint filter back into place since that came out a little while ago. There we go. Now we can close our dryer door. Now we can line our control panel back up and slide that back over and set that back into place. Now we can screw it back in. Now we can turn our dryer back around, and then once we do that, we'll plug everything back in and your repair is complete. Now we can turn our gas back on. Finally, don't forget to plug in your appliance. If you need to replace any parts for your appliances, you can find an OEM replacement part on our website, PCApplianceRepair.com. Thanks for watching, and please don't forget to like, comment, and share our video. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us make more videos just like these for you to watch for free.